Hey everyone, before we get into today's video, I want to remind you we are giving away a Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Bundle. There's a Gleam.io link down in the description, and I wish all of you luck. Hey folks, welcome back to Prime News, and our first story today is that Detective Pikachu trailer. No, I can't show you that trailer. It is linked down in the description. You'll see some images from it, but man, oh man, does the Detective Pikachu trailer look very interesting. Now, personally, I'm very excited. You gotta remember, this Detective Pikachu trailer is for a live-action movie with Ryan Reynolds voicing, well, Detective Pikachu. And it's very, very entertaining, as Ryan Reynolds, at least to me, always is. It's hard to imagine him now outside of Deadpool, but he makes it kind of work for me in this trailer. And those Pokemon, I mean, there's a lot of talk on the internet about those Pokemon. It's a love-hate relationship. Either you really, really love them or you're really creeped out and you hate the designs. Personally, I always thought Pokemon in real life were generally going to be pretty creepy. Not so cutesy like they are in the anime, because like Ash Ketchum in real life isn't going to look as cutesy either as he would in an anime. So it's very interesting. I actually like a lot of the designs. There's a lot of focus on Psyduck and obviously Pikachu, that Mr. Mime scene in there. I'm telling you, watch the trailer and let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. I'm excited, and I feel like this might be one of the first live action adaptations of a video game that is going to perform very, very well, not just at the box office, but critically, because other attempts at this, you know, like the Tomb Raiders of the past, the Resident Evil series, while I enjoyed those flicks, they weren't necessarily up to the standards set by the actual game series, which is why people keep saying there's not really a great live action adaptation. There's, you know, a lot of animated adaptations that have done well, and obviously the continuation of like the Pokemon TV series to the Pokemon movies, but I'm excited by this. It releases summer next year. Check out the trailer and let me know your thoughts. THQ Nordic has announced 3 new games for, well, Nintendo Switch coming next year. 2 of them we have release dates for, the other we don't. The first is Sphinx and the 3D Mummy. It's kind of a point-and-click style game. Very exciting and more old-school IP that is coming back. And we actually have the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 that, well, it's another point-and-click style game, but here's just a snippet of the announcement trailer for Switch.
DRM free, no micro purchasing, no always online, no pay to win, before the days are free to play. We chose the way that we keep traveling. When shadows fall upon our land.
Yeah. I think that game might be day one for me. And again, that one releases on February 5th. Now, the last game that they announced coming to Switch is the Raven Remaster. Now, I actually played the Raven. It's a game about a thief that steals like a diamond from a British museum. And he always seems one step ahead of the investigation. And it's a very interesting game. I never beat it, but now that it's being remastered on Switch, I might. Now, all 3 of these games, that game, by the way, releases January 22nd. All 3 of these games will be released at the price of $29.99. And again, they might not be your kind of games, but they remind me of a time in gaming from yesteryear on PC. And I'm glad to see it come back. THQ Nordic reviving a little bit of my childhood. Next up, I have some sad news, and that is that Hollow Knight will no longer be getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch. Skybound Games had originally teamed up with Team Cherry Games to make the physical version of Hollow Knight a reality, but Skybound Games announced on Twitter that they are no longer working with them. They expanded upon this on a blog post stating simply, "In the future, we will investigate other ways to deliver physical versions of Hollow Knight, though likely that will be in smaller quantities." Now, I actually own Hollow Knight on a Nintendo Switch. It's one of the few indie games I actually have in my library that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And again, Haven't beaten it, but it's a lot of fun, and I would have loved to see a physical version come out. The smaller quantities thing isn't really that exciting for me. I prefer larger quantities so more of us can get our hands on it, but we have to remember the Skybound Games is just a team of 3 people, so any sort of investment like this is huge, and they might have even lost some investment money on this partnership, which is why they had to cancel it, because they weren't going to continue to fund a venture that is just sinking the company. But yeah, if you haven't picked up Hollow Knight, sometimes it has sales on the eShop and everything. Check it out, because chances are you won't be able to get your hands on a physical copy, maybe ever. Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Nintendo Switch. In fact, a lot of the games are being HD remastered. Here's what creator Scott Cawthon had to say about these games coming to Switch and other platforms. I'm working closely with the people at Click Team to create new, improved HD ports of all of the original Five Nights at Freddy's games. They will be released on Android, iOS, Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. So yeah, I'm not a big Five Nights at Freddy's guy. I know some kids that when I used to do some after-school care at elementary schools were really into Five Nights at Freddy's. Never really been my thing. I know it's a really popular series. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos and theories pop up and blow up over it. So hey, you know what? They're coming to Switch. I think that's good for people that are really into those games. I heard there's some nice strategy underneath it all, even though it gets a little convoluted and obviously has all the jump scares. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this. Are you excited that Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Switch? They were talking about the original game, so this is pretty cool, in my opinion. Now, were you looking for an update on Firewatch by Campo Santo coming to Nintendo Switch? This was announced quite a while ago, and we haven't seen any progress on it. Well, it turns out co-creator of the Firewatch game and Campo Santo in general, Jake Rodkin, actually responded to someone on Twitter who asked about it and said it's very close to release on the Switch. So while maybe it'll pop up, end of this month, December, maybe early January, at some point we are getting Firewatch probably within the next 90 days on Switch. It is one of the biggest critically acclaimed indie games to come to Switch, and I personally have never played it. So Switch is probably going to be my first real opportunity to dive in that I'm seriously considering. And I know I'm not a big indie guy, and we have a lot of indie news today, but I generally really get excited for indie games. I just can't afford to keep up with how many good ones are releasing. But this one's been on my radar since before it released on like Steam and everything. So to see it now coming, to Switch, pretty much took away any excuse I had to avoid it the first time around. So yeah, let me know if you're excited for Firewatch as well. And hopefully we see a competitive price point to other versions of the game. Lastly today, this is just a warning. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee has officially leaked online. Yes, there are people with versions of it. They can't really emulate it, so you don't need to worry about necessarily seeing a bunch of early gameplay and stuff like that like you would normally, like when a 3DS game leaked. Like when Pokemon, I think it was Moon leaked, a couple years back. That was really nasty. Well, what you can still get, however, are data miners. So a lot of information from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee are leaking online right now from stats and various things. I don't really want to give you any of them. I just want to warn you that there's going to be a lot of outlets and a lot of various places covering all of these leaks from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I'm not going to be one of them. I just want to let you know it is out there. It has leaked. There's oodles and oodles and oodles of information out there. If you are interested, you could just, look up in Google, Pokemon Let's Go, leaks, data mining, etc. And you're going to find more information than you probably want. Or maybe you want all of it because it is just like a reimagining, remake, remastering of Pokemon Yellow. But personally, I'm not going to be diving into those leaks. I haven't read much of the leaks. I don't know how big they are, how little they are. Just warning, they're out there. So if there are outlets talking about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee this week that are specifically referencing leaks and not necessarily review copies of games they have, you might want to avoid that coverage if you're trying to stay spoiler-free. Remember, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee releases this Friday, and I think if I can find a way to stream it, I will. I know my capture card situation is a little not working right now, but maybe I could find someone in this area that I can maybe borrow one for just for the launch of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. We'll wait and see if that's a thing that happens. Anyways, folks, I am Nathaniel Rufflejans from Nintendo Prime, and if you like this video, hit that like button. It helps bring it to more and more of our own audience. Remember to enter that Switch giveaway down in the description, and hey, I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.